Okay. So today is chapter 14, Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, modes of material nature. We have been talking about goodness, passion, and ignorance, right? In chapter 13, what did Lord Krishna explain? He was telling us about the material body, the soul, and super soul in detail. Now, in this chapter, what Lord Krishna is trying to explain is the nature of his material energy. He spoke about material energy over there, Prakriti, right? He spoke about that, but he's going to tell the nature of material energy here, and which is the source of the body and its element. Then these material elements, it has there are three gunas. We all know three modes: a mode sattva guna, rajoguna, tamoguna, which is mode of goodness; sattva guna, mode of goodness; rajas guna, which is mode of passion; and tamoguna, which is mode of ignorance. So the body, the mind, the intellect, all these are material in nature. So they also go through these three modes of material nature. It is a combination of all the three gunas. It's not that only one thing is dominating. We will see in later verses. So we will see how these three modes, we will be recognizing these three modes and the supremacy of these three modes, how they act and when they are dying within these three modes, how we can transcend these three modes. We will be learning about that as such in this Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga. So let's see. Okay, you can read. Those who are interested in reading the translation, keep your hands raised so that you get a chance to read. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Param Bhuya Pravakshami Jnananam Jnanamuttamam Yajñatva Munayas Sarve Param Siddhimito Gataha. Ashwari Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. The blessed Lord said, again, I shall declare to you this supreme wisdom, the best of all knowledge, knowing which all sages have attained to the supreme perfection. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So in this chapter, Lord Krishna, what is he going to explain? He says, I will explain to you what these modes of nature are, how they are acting, how they tie us, how they bind us, and how, they give you liberation also. So we need to understand this. So the knowledge explained in this chapter is declared by Krishna to be superior to the knowledge given so far in other chapters. He says, I will declare that this is a supreme wisdom. The best of all knowledge is what Lord Krishna is saying. If we understand this knowledge, Lord Krishna says, there are so many sages in the previous times who have got this knowledge. They have attained perfection and they were able to go to Golokadham. They were able to transfer themselves to the spiritual world. So it's very important that we understand this 14th chapter. And they say, if you understand 14th chapter, you will attain perfection. Sarvayo nishukaunteya murtaya sambhavantiyaha tasam brahma mahadyonihi aham bija pradavpita. Yes, Maitra Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. It should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed-giving father.
Hare Krishna. Have you got the point? I am the seed-giving father. Krishna is our father. He is our eternal father. It's very, very, very clear in 14.4. We have to remember 14.4, where Krishna is saying that he is the original father of all living entities. So how are we made? We are made with a combination of these material nature, right? Earth, water, air, ether, fire, all this, right? And what is soul? Soul is also there. It's the part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. So Srila Prabhupada explains in his purport for this shloka that material world is impregnated with living entities, right? And they come out, and whenever they are coming out to be born, they come out in different species according to, of course, their past karmas. They can be a dog, a hog, or a devata, or whatever, or human being. So according to the karmas of the individual soul, what does the Prakriti or the material nature do? It gets to work. Okay, what do I have to do? I have to create suitable life forms for them, right? So it's not that everyone is cast into this material world. 3/4 is spiritual world, material world is only 1/4. So it's not that everybody is put into this material world. Only those who have turned their back towards God are thrown here. Means we all have turned our backs toward God. That is why we are sitting here now in material world. So whoever is Vimukh, not Sanmukh. Sanmukh means facing. Vimukh means turned their back. So those who have turned their backs are sitting here in this material world. So, and we have to understand very, very important point that Lord Krishna is our eternal Father. Everyone, all living entities' Father is one. That is Lord Krishna. Yes, Aishwarya Mataji.
O sinless one, the mode of goodness being purer than the others is illuminating, and it frees one from all sinful reactions. Those situated in that mode develop knowledge, but they become conditioned by the concept of happiness. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. See, Tatra Sattvam Nirmalatvat Prakashakamanayam Prakashakamanayam Prakashakam Nirmalatvat Akashakamanayam means what? Illuminating. Prakash means illuminating. Anamayam means without any sinful, there is no sinful reaction to it. So whoever is in mode of goodness, they are illuminated, they are bright. You can see their faces are very bright. They are very calm, very serene, you know. So they are nirmal, they are calm. Nirmalatva, their tattvam is nirmal. And their prakashakamanam, their faces are glowing, illuminating from inside out. They are calm, they are satisfied, they are compassionate. Their goodness, you know, it can be seen. They don't have any sinful, they don't react like that quickly. They're tranquil. So if you are in that mode, there will be no BP, blood pressure also, you know, you'll be having good health and you will be free from all kinds of sickness because you are in mode of goodness all the time. There is no blood rising up or down. There is no blood pressure going on. So while the mode of goodness, it creates a lot of calmness in you. But if you remain attached to mode of goodness, that is also you are binding. You are binding the soul to this material. Material nature is three, right? Goodness, passion, ignorance. Anything is a chain only. One is gold chain, silver chain, iron chain. So whatever you are holding on to is itself a chain. So how to understand this is always, I give this example of a traveler who is passing through a forest and three robbers attack him. So the first one says, do one thing, he has got a lot of wealth on him. Let's kill him, steal all his wealth, go away. Second one says, what? Are you out of your mind? Why do you have to kill him? Let's do one thing. Let's bind him up to the tree, this nearby tree. Let's take all his wealth and go. No need to kill him for that. So that all three decide, okay, the second one makes whatever he's saying makes sense to us. So let's do that. And they do that and they start running away. After a certain distance, the third robber turns around, says wait a minute, and he goes back to that traveler and he removes that rope. He had tied the rope, right? So he removes the rope and he takes him to the edge of the forest and he says, okay, I'm showing you the way out. I will not go with you myself because if I go out, of course, I will be caught. So I will show you the way. If you go, you will be able to get yourself out of this forest. So on knowing this, you have to tell me what modes of nature are the first, second, and third robber in. Like, for example, first robber, what guna was he in?
Ignorance.
Tamoguna.
Ignorance.
Tamoguna, mode of ignorance. Very good. Why?
He wanted to kill the person.
He wanted to kill the traveler.
Correct. And the second one,
Passion.
Rajoguna.
why?
He still wanted to tie the person, take away the wealth.
Well, yes. And the third one,
Rajoguna.
Third
It's
one is
Sattva Guna.
goodness.
why?
Sattva.
That goodness is there.
Yes,
Yeah,
some goodness.
because he still had that compassion. He wanted to, to show him the right path and send him away, even though he was a robber, right? So, so that is what it is. So these scientists, philosophers, they're also in that mode of goodness only. They are, but we have to move beyond these three modes of goodness. We have to go to Shuddha Sattva Guna. Shuddha Sattva Guna is we have to transcend all these three modes of, whether it's mode of goodness, passion, or Tamoguna, all we have to go towards Shuddha Sattva Guna, which is mode of divine energy of the God, which beyond. So when soul becomes God realized by His grace, He will give us Shuddha Sattva Guna also. Then we will be able to make our senses, our mind, everything, intellect also, everything we can make it divine. So these all these scientists, philosophers, they are all in that mode of goodness where they want to do something for the welfare of the humankind, right? But we have to go beyond all this. Yes, Maitra Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Mataji. The mode of passion is born of unlimited desires and longings, O son of Kunti, and because of this, one is bound to material fruitive activities.
Yeah, so now Lord Krishna is explaining about the working of how Rajoguna works, how it is binding us to this material existence, right? What does it do? What does mode of passion do is, it is igniting in us the lust for sensual enjoyment. It is inflaming these desires in us, the mental desire, physical desires. We see something, we get attached to them. So what Rajoguna does is attachment to the what? Worldly things. Like those who are influenced by Rajoguna, basically, they are so much engrossed in this artificial outside worldly pursuits, whether it is, you say, their prestige, their status, their career, their family, their home, anything. They want everything like, mera status acha hona chahiye. What will society say? I have to be in a certain way, I have to dress certain way, I have to wear this much of jewelry. This is what will society say. They're worried about the whole status. So how to get away from that? The only way to break out of this is to engage in karma sannyasa yoga. What is that? It is you start offering the results of whatever activity, whatever work you are doing, give it to God. Offer it to God. Slowly, it won't happen overnight. Slowly, you will get that detachment from this whole worldly pursuits. You will start not having that much of interest. Okay, yeah, I don't have to wear 1 kilo gold on my, whole body. You'll try to reduce that slowly, and then start getting detached from it. And it will pacify the whatever effects of Rajoguna that we develop. Yes, please, Aishwarya Mataji.
O son of Bharta, the mode of ignorance causes the delusion of all living entities. The result of this mode is madness, indolency, and sleep, which binds the conditioned soul. Hare Krishna.
Complete opposite of mode of goodness. Mode of ignorance, tamoguna, is opposite of mode of goodness. Everybody under the spell of mode of ignorance, they are like, they're crazy, completely crazy, because they don't know what they're actually doing, right? Like even when somebody dies in their family, right? Their grandparent or any elderly person, whoever dies in the family, everybody knows that there is death, and death is obvious, right? It is therefore very, very clear to us that no one will stay here forever on this earth. There will be a time when we have to also go and die sooner or later, right? We are all mortals here. No one is going to be immortal here. Children, children's children, grandchildren, everybody has to face death. Death is sure, as sure as death. English, you have a proverb, right? Idiom, as sure as death. It is only one thing that is very sure, that is death. Still what people are doing, we are accumulating money. 7 pushton ke liye mujhe collect karna, 7 generations should be able to use it. We are working very hard day and night, running after money and not taking care of our soul, not even caring about our eternal spirit soul. Where is the food for soul? Where is it? What are we doing for it? No, in our madness to earn money, in our madness for everything, we are reluctant to even advance in spiritual practice, right? So such people who are in complete tamoguna, very lazy. You can see that from their attitude. They, even if you say, we have Bhagavadgita lessons going on, why don't you join us? No, it's not for me. You go ahead. I have no interest in all this. I don't know even God is there or not. Forget about it. I don't want to join. They are not interested in it. They are not even active, they're not at all active. They would see, as in the picture, you can see is lying in a bowl of popcorns, eating, watching, playing video games and drinking Coke, whatever. And they are just completely inactive. So they're not even like a person who is in the mode of passion. And they are sleeping more than that is required. Srila Prabhupada says more than 6 hours of sleep is not needed. More than 6 is not needed. 6 hours of sleep is sufficient enough, right? But whoever is in the mode of ignorance, he sleeps at least 10 to 12 hours minimum. And he is always, I'm in depression. Mujhe to kuch samajh mein nahi aa raha hai. I am totally dejected. And he is addicted to all kinds of intoxicants, sleeping all the time. So if you see such a person, remember the symptoms are of a person who is conditioned by the mode of ignorance. Yes, Mataji, my friend, Aishwarya Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
mode of-
Mataji. Yeah, please continue.
The mode of goodness conditions one to happiness, passion conditions him to the fruities of action, and ignorance to madness. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So in the mode of goodness, what happens? Like you can see philosophers or scientists and all, they're in that mode of goodness because they want to do something for the human society, for their welfare. They're engaged in that particular kind of a field, like, science or something like that, philosophy of that knowledge. They're satisfied in that. I'm doing something for the welfare of mankind, and they're happy and they're satisfied. They don't want to move further on. So those who are in the mode of passion, they are engaged in all kinds of fruitive activities where they can, मैं कितना कमा लूं, how much wealth can I accumulate, how much can I, spend? But they do spend. They do spend for good causes also, the mode of passion, for their name and fame. They will open a charitable hospital. They will give charity to charity institutions. But that's mode of passion. Why? Because they want their names also. Even if they donate to the temple, they will say, Prabhuji, Mataji, will my name be written over there or not? That tile, I can't see my name written out there. I have donated the fan, but my name is not written over there. They're all the time worried about their name and fame. That's mode of passion, right? When you do donation, left hand should not know what right hand has given. That's the kind of mode you should be in. But mode of passion, they do charity work, but they want name and fame. But those who are in the mode of ignorance, it covers their intellect completely. Whatever, good, bad, nothing matters to them. All the mode of ignorance, it clouds their intellect completely. So they are acting complete opposite of the mode of goodness, perverse manner. Like I keep saying, everyone knows cigarette is injurious to health. It's written on the box. Cigarette smoking is not good for health. It's injurious to health. Every cigarette pack, you can see a warning sign is given over there. Cigarette smokers also read that. The one who is selling reads that, one who is buying reads that, one who is manufacturing writes also, prints also on that. Government also knows it, but they do not refrain from smoking. Why? Because the intellect has lost the discriminative power. It does not hesitate. Okay, I will get lung cancer. I may do self-injury to myself. But the pleasure of smoking is so much so, that tamoguna is so much so, it's very difficult to, withhold the bad habit. Someone had said this, cigarette, it's like a pipe with a fire at one end. You put the fire on one end, right? And who is at the other end? The fool. The fool is at the other end. So it's a pipe with a fire on one end and a fool at the other. That is the influence of tamoguna, it binds the soul in the darkness, complete ignorance. Yes, Maitra Mataji.
Sometimes the mode of passion becomes prominent, defeating the mode of goodness, O son of Bharata. And sometimes the mode of goodness defeats passion. And at other times, the mode of ignorance defeats goodness and passion. In this way, there is always competition for supremacy.
Always, there is always competition. The Lord Krishna is explaining now, the same person, okay, same individual's temperament, it starts oscillating between these three gunas. We all have these three gunas in us. So it can be compared, like as in the picture you can see, three wrestlers, they're fighting, competing with each other. Each one is trying to throw the other down. And so sometimes the first one is on the top of other, sometimes the second one is on the top of the third one. So that is going on and on in the same manner. The three gunas, it keeps dominating us, our temperament. And you can never say I'm in the mode of goodness 24/7, 365. There will be a time when you will be in the mode of passion. There will be a time when you will be in tamoguna also. There is no rule how long each guna will last. It can dominate your mind or intellect for, say, 1 hour sometimes, and or as short as a moment, or as a hours together, days together. Like for example, now that we are all sitting here reading Bhagavad Gita and trying to understand this, we seem to be in the mode of goodness right now because we are not worried about what is happening outside. There is no disturbance right now. Mind is sattvic. Bhagavad Gita class gets over, you are very happy. Now you say, okay, class got over. I could attend the class. You are very happy. You are sitting right in front of the TV, watching your favorite serial. The moment you switch on, maybe you're watching news, serial, whatever you may be watching on the TV. Now, whatever you're seeing on the TV, slowly that sattvic mode turns into rajasic mode. Oh, I can see this ad. I think I also need to buy this. Oh, this house looks very beautiful. Yeah, 3-bedroom. How much is it? Now, slowly the mode is moving towards rajasic temperament, and it is hankering after sense pleasures. Now, as you're watching that, your son, husband, whoever, wife, they come and they switch off or maybe switch off, or they will change the channel. Child might say, I want to watch cartoon. Husband might say, I want to watch news. Wife might come and say, I want cooking channel, whatever. They might change. As soon as they change, you are watching your favorite series or whatever it is, and they have changed. How will you feel? What are you doing? Why did you even change it without asking me? I'm watching it. Can't you see that? And then you get angry, and then that causes tamoguna to increase in your mind. And then you're filled with anger. You're filled with frustration. You're filled with, all kinds of thoughts that are coming. So the mind, you see, from within that 1-2 hours, the mind has swayed from sattva-guna to rajoguna to tamoguna, and it's oscillating here and there. So it depends. Mind is swaying on three gunas, and which one will last for how long? You don't know. Aishwarya Mataji, read all these sattva-guna, rajoguna, and tamoguna.
Yes, Mataji. Sattva-guna, balance, harmony, positive, peace, clarity, light, creativity, openness, intelligence. Rajas, movement, activity, energy, excitement, passion, desire, agitation, anxiety, egotism. Tamas guna, inertia, inactivity, negativity, apathy, dullness, dark, delusion, depression, and ignorance. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. You can see these things, these qualities, these are the qualities of sattva-guna, rajoguna, and tamoguna. So there was once, 3 friends. They were very poor. They lived in a very small village, and the land in the village was very infertile, and there was nothing much to do in that village. So the 3 friends decided, let's go to the city and try to find some job over there. So they were very poor, so they started walking. They couldn't take the mode. There was nothing that they could do to take the mode of transport. So they started walking. They packed their bag, left for the city. As they were going through the forest, they were going through that. So it was very hot, with summer month, and they were very tired, hungry, wanted to drink something to quench their thirst. So they sat under a tree for a while. And then for a while, then they said, okay, let's just rest under a tree. While they were resting, one of them spotted, oh, I can see a mango tree over there. It's a nice tree. Let's go. We can eat the mango. It will satisfy our hunger and little bit of thirst. So they asked their oldest friend, why don't you just go check it out? We are resting for a while. You go in the meanwhile. So the oldest friend, he walks to the tree. And then he thanks God. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to you for showing me this mango tree, beautiful tree. Then he looks at some ripened mangoes, and as he was about to pluck it from the tree, he sees that some of the mangoes have fallen down. It were lying on the ground. He said, okay, yeah, let me just, take these many. So there's so many mangoes on the ground. It's not good for me to pick it up from, from the tree. Let it be for others. Let me pick up from that. That is lying on the ground. It's already ripe, so I can eat. And after picking it up, he eats. And then what he does is he prays to God and he says that I'm very grateful to you, God, and then that he had got these mangoes to eat, right? What he does is after eating, he digs the ground and he sows the seed in it. He says, oh God, see, as I could benefit from the tree and the mango over here, may some other traveler one day, this tree, this seed will grow into a tree and that other travelers will also benefit from it. Thank you so much, God. And then he comes back and tells his friends, you see, that the fruit is very sweet, very juicy, very nice. Why don't you go and try it out? The second one goes and he walks through the tree. He looks at the tree. He says, nice mangoes, right? And even the wood is good, dry wood. I can sell it off in the market and get some money out of it. Why don't I take some mangoes as well as the wood also? It would give me some money because I don't have a job right now. So immediately I will sell it. And anyway, the tree doesn't belong to anyone. Who cares, right? So let me just eat some mangoes. And then he breaks some thick branch full of mangoes and he places it on his shoulders. And he says to him, you know, that is what a smart person does. You know, I'm a very smart person. I've got a smart idea, you know, I will go and tell others also later. Then he carries it back. So the third friend now goes. He goes to after seeing this thing, he gets a little bit of jealous. He says, since childhood, I have planted so many trees. And every time I've tried, not even one single tree grew in my garden. Here, there's middle of nowhere, the mango tree is growing full of great juicy mangoes. I don't know how it has happened. You know, somehow by luck, this has happened. And whereas my efforts, all my efforts were so, it was not at all successful. This is what I will do. You know, I'm going to destroy this tree once I eat all the mangoes. Thinking that he picks up the mango which is nearest to him and plucks it nicely and he takes a bite. It's very sour because it's not even the ripe one. And the mango he plucked was very sour. You know, he didn't even have that knowledge that it was unripe. You know, he did not know the difference between a ripe and an unripe mango. He didn't know how to differentiate between them. Instead of finding out what is ripe and unripe, he got very angry and thinking that my friends got to eat sweet mangoes, whereas I got the ripe, just because this mango tree didn't want to give me. In anger, he took out the matchbox, he lit the tree on fire. So now you can imagine who was in sattvic mode, rajasic mode, and tamasic mode, right? Who was in the sattvic mode?
The first one.
friend.
Yeah, because he had the qualities like gratitude, wisdom, he was kind, sense of responsibility was also there, he was fair. And who was in rajasic mode?
The second one.
Second
Yeah,
friend.
why? Because he was intelligent, but he was at the same time very manipulative, you know, because he was thinking, okay, his interest for him was very important for him. He was only thinking about himself, not about others. And the third one was dominated by
Ignorant.
Tamoguna. Why? Because he could not differentiate between right and wrong. He was completely egoistic, negative. He had no interest in serving others. So similar to these friends, we all also have these gunas dominating us, our thinking, our emotions, our actions all the time. And it is swaying between like these three. Always a tug of war is going on inside our mind. Sometimes sattva guna is pulling, sometimes rajo guna is pulling, right? So tamasic person will see everything very negative in him. Everything, whatever he will see, he will be always talking negative only. Then you will understand, okay, he is having a lot of tamoguna in him. And person who is a little bit more sattvic will always be talking about more. He will see the whole universe, the worldly affairs in a very positive way, and he will always try to find joy and happiness in anything or everything he's doing, right? Mind, you know, it is very unstable. Chanchalam hi manah, Krishna says Arjuna, and it fluctuates very easily from one guna to another, right? That's what we understood. So by recognizing the mode supremacy. What modes are they in? Picture number 1, 2, and 3.
First one is mode of ignorance.
Rajas.
Rajas.
Picture number 1, like that.
First one is Rajas. Second one is Tamas. And third one is Sattva.
Why?
They are excited. They want to know something, but out of excitement.
They are in mode of passion because they are completely
Yes.
involved in that social media, thinking about
Yes.
themselves, self-interest, nothing to do about others. Second one, they are scolding each other, abusing each other, fighting with each other in a tamoguna mood, anger. Then third, they're as a family, they're going together, they're finding blissful, they're always being positive, happy, moving together, calm, tranquil, serene, in a very sattvic mode. Yeah, true. Very nice. Thank you. Let's move on. Yes, Raina Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. The manifestations of the mode of goodness can be experienced when all the gates of the body are eliminated by knowledge.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sarvadvareshu dehesmin prakasha upajayate jnanam yada tada vidyat vivriddhim sattva mityuta. Srila Prabhupada explains in his purport. He says we have 9 gates in the body, right? What are those? Our 2 eyes, our 2 ears, our 2 nostrils, the mouth, the genitals, and the anus. So these all 9 gates, and when all these gates or every gate is illuminated by the symptoms of goodness, then what we have to understand is we are in that mode of goodness. We have developed, and that is dominating more in us now. In the mode of goodness, what happens? How do you know whether you are in mode of goodness? Because whatever we will see, we can see things in the right position. We can hear things in the right position. We can taste things in the right position. We will never misunderstand the other person. We will try to understand the other person's point of view rather than judging them beforehand. So when we become cleansed inside also and outside also, then every gate, there is a development of the symptom of goodness or happiness, you can say, right? Symptoms of all the gates in the body in the mode of goodness. Then we are all the time happy. We are illuminated. We are always rejoicing, and we don't judge others, and we do not always try to think that what is he thinking, and we are completely blissful. What are the symptoms of all the gates of the body in the mode of goodness?
Illumination by knowledge.
Illumination by knowledge.
Both of these.
Both of these.
Both of them,
Correct.
yeah.
Very good. Very good. Yes, Aishwarya Mataji.
O chief of Bharatas, when there is an increase in the mode of passion, the symptoms of great attachment, uncontrollable desire, hankering, and intense endeavor develop. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So whoever is in mode of passion, you're never satisfied with whatever position you are in. You want more and more and more, right? So for example, if you have constructed you have purchased a 2-bedroom flat, next you want to go for a 4-bedroom flat. After 4-bedroom flat, you say, no, I want to purchase a land and build a house. Once you build the house, you say, no, house is not enough. I need to have a palatial bungalow with a huge garden. Next, you will go for another level. There is no end to it, right? For example, if you have 21-inch TV, you will say, no, 21 in my neighbor has 52 inches. I need to go for 62 inches. So there is no end. You are hankering for more and more. So lot of hankering for sense gratification. There is no end to it. There's this endless thing, right? You are always wanting more and more. So these symptoms should be, sometimes you have to try to curb it, but they have understood to be you are in the mode of passion. These are the symptoms. What makes a living entity in the mode of passion to get bound to material fruitive actions? What makes him do that?
His unlimited
His
desires
unlimited
and
desires
longings.
and
Yes, excellent. Very good. Yes, please, Maitra Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Symptoms of ignorance. O son of Kuru, when there is an increase in the mode of ignorance, madness, illusion, inertia, and darkness are manifested.
Yes, naturally, when there is no illumination, in mode of goodness, we have all the 9 gates are illuminated, right? But if there is no illumination, definitely there is no knowledge. Absolute knowledge is gone. Absolute knowledge is there when there is illumination, and there is knowledge is absent when there is no illumination. That means you are in mode of ignorance, right? You don't want to follow any rules and regulations. You want to do whatever you think is right. You are headstrong. There is no purpose behind it, right? Even if you have the capacity to work, you will not even try to find a job. You will say, I can't get it. People don't want to take me. They are like this. They are always complaint box. You become a complaint box. You are completely under illusion. Consciousness is there, but life is there. You are breathing, but you are completely inactive. These are the symptoms of those who are in the mode of ignorance. But these modes, they influence our attitude towards even God and spiritual path also, right? Those who are in the mode of goodness, they are very sattvic in their mode. They say, okay, I'm so grateful. I've got to learn so much from my guru. The guru has taught me so much about God. I should definitely try to progress in my sadhana, progress spiritually. This human form, guru says this human form is so precious. Who knows what kind of living entity I will be in my next life. So this is precious. So I should not waste my time in mundane pursuits, and let me start doing my sadhana seriously. A student will study from day one, not last day. He will be so sincere. He will be in sattvic mode. And an official or an officer or a person, he will start making his presentation, the presentation that he has to give or the project work he has to complete. He will start from day one and working on it. And those who are in the mode of passion, when mode of passion becomes very prominent in us, we start thinking, yes, Guru has said spiritual progress is good. God is there. I know it is there. I must progress in spiritual path. Jaldi kya hai? What's the hurry? I will do. Ab to itne responsibilities hai. I have to take care of my kids. I have to look into what house I have to purchase, the cars I have to purchase. They are very important right now. So let me finish that. Then I will think about that. But definitely I will think about it. Yes. I should do some charity also. I will think about it. Then there are students also like that who will study the last day of the exam. The day before, they'll say, okay, day before. Project work also, they will prepare last day. I will do it, but I will do it last day. They will wait till the last day. If you are in the mode of goodness, the mode of goodness dominates, then we'll say, hey, Bhagwan hai? I'm not really sure. There is God or not? I don't know. Who has seen it? Did you see it? How do you know? Why are you wasting so much time in your sadhana? Don't waste it. When it comes to student, he will not even study. He will just go to the exam center to write down. Dekha jayega. Let's see what happens. And the person who has to do the presentation has not at all prepared. He goes to give presentation unprepared, and it's such an awkward position. So you can see that, how a person's thoughts have oscillated from such top Sattva-guna height to the depths of total ignorance, right? You'd never know. So many problems can be sorted out. Life can be so much peaceful, right? If we just don't react. And the moment we notice that we are in a lower mode, tamasic mode, better to zip your lip. That should be our mantra. Zip your lip whenever you are in a lower mode. And when you are in Sattva-guna mode, talk. So that's what we need to learn from here. So Lord Krishna now begins to explain where we will go under these three gunas, right? Let's see, we need to make the goal and how to transcend them also. Which of the following are manifested in the mode of ignorance?
Madness and darkness. Actually, it's C.
Darkness, illusion, madness, and
Darkness, illusion,
inactivity.
madness.
Yes, correct. Very good. Yes, Reina Mataji.
Hare Krishna. When one dies in the mode of goodness, he attains to the pure higher planets.
Yeah,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. So these are the destinations. Where are we going to go? If we are in a mode of goodness, we will go to higher planetary systems, right? Like we have Brahmaloka, Janaloka, Satya. All these lokas are there above the earth. We can enjoy over there. We will live for more number of years. We can enjoy godly happiness over there, right? Yada satve pravrithetu pralayam yati dehabrit tadotamavidam lokan amalan pratipadyate. So we will go to higher lokas. It says higher lokas. And amalan, it means pure. We will be free from all these modes of passion and ignorance once we go over there, right? So there are impurities in this material world, but the mode of goodness, that's the purest form in this material world. But we have to go transcend all these three. That's a different issue, right? So there are different kinds of planets and different kinds of living entities. So those who are going to die in the mode of goodness, they are elevated to the planets where great sages and great devotees, they are living, right? Dhanaloka, Tapaloka, Maharloka, Brahmaloka, all these lokas are there above Bhuloka. Which of the following according to 14.4 means pure?
Sattva.
Satoguna is, yes, mode of goodness.
Amalan.
Amalan, yes, I
Oh,
had explained, yes. Good. Yes, please, Aishwarya Mataji.
When one dies in the mode of passion, he takes birth among those engaged in fruitive activities. And when he dies in the mode of ignorance, he takes birth in the animal kingdom. Hare
Now
Krishna.
you know. So the destination, some people, have the impression that when soul reaches the platform of human life, we never go down to any animal kingdom or anything. It's not right. Because what does this shloka says? Rajasi pralayam gatva karma sangishu jayate tatha pralinastamasi mudhayonishu jayate. This verse is, many people say, oh, we have human life. We don't never go down once we get human life. So what this verse is saying, if we develop the mode of ignorance, then after our death, we are degraded to an animal form of life. That is very clearly written in this shloka. You can always quote 14.15. From there, again, we have to elevate ourselves by evolutionary process slowly, then come again to the human form of life. So we have to be actually very serious about human life. Whatever human life we have got, we should always try to take to the mode of goodness and be in a good association, devotees association, try to transcend these modes, try to be in Krishna consciousness. That should be our aim, right? Otherwise, you don't know. There is no guarantee we will get human life or not again. And once we are in this human life, if we misuse this opportunity, what will happen? We will fall down into the plant and animal kingdom. Again, go through the same cycle, evolutionary process, moving from one body to the next for 8 million births before we get another human birth. So it's a long journey. So better let us be in the mode of goodness. Yes, Maitra Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Action done in the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. By acting in the mode of goodness, one becomes purified. Works done in the mode of passion result in distress, and actions performed in the mode of ignorance result in foolishness.
This is
Correct.
self-explanatory, right? Because it says mode of goodness, you're purified. Whatever work we will do in passion, it will result in distress. We will be having problems later on. And if it is in the mode of ignorance, definitely it is completely foolishness. It is something, because in Rajasic mode, we are agitated by the desires, right? Always agitated because we are trying to boast. We are trying to brag. We are trying to have sense gratification. It is not happening. So there's a lot of anxiousness going on, right? So, and spirit, this one, tamasic, we are not bothered about anything. We are killing everything. We are killing animals. We are for our own sense gratification. The taste of tongue is more important for us. So all this, this is even in, there is a prayer in Vedic literature, right? We do in pranama prayers also. Namo Brahmana Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagadhitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Says, Lord, you are the well-wisher of the cows and of the Brahmanas. You are the well-wisher of entire human society and world. But they are not bothered about, they are killing animals left, right, and center, right? So we have to understand that it's a very dangerous age. And we have to be very careful about what we are doing. Definitely should not be in the mode of ignorance. So result of how a person is when he is in different gunas. Let's see, Raina Mataji.
From the mode of goodness, real knowledge develops. From the mode of passion, grief develops. And from the mode of ignorance, foolishness, madness, and illusion develop.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Sattvat sanjayate jnanam rajaso lobha evacha pramada mohau tamaso bhavato jnanam evacha. Now Lord Krishna is telling the result of how a person is when he is in different gunas. Sattva guna. Sattva guna means we are wise. We get into, it gives rise to wisdom. So it will help us to, it will give us the ability to discriminate between right and wrong, right? We are not, in Sattva guna, we are not working for our own sense gratification. We are always satisfied, always contentment is there, always we are happy. So we act and we influence others also in a very, and act in a very wise way. Rajoguna, what does it do? It is inflaming our senses. It is putting our mind out of control because of that ambition that we have and lots of desires that we have. So we are trapped and we are running after money and worldly pleasures. It is not helping our soul at all. And when it is tamoguna, it is making us completely, lazy. We are in the mode of inertia, completely in the mode of ignorance. We are doing all wicked things, impious, pap karma we are doing. Actually, we have to bear that kind of results also, right? So if the world is completely into this mode of passion and ignorance, then how will the world be in peace and prosperity? The whole world now you can see, even the rulers, all are hankering after, I want this state, I want this country, I want this, I want that. How will you find, how will peace prevail in the world? You can see that they're in the mode of passion and ignorance. Yes, please, Aishwarya Mataji.
Those situated in the mode of goodness gradually go upward to the higher planets. Those in the mode of passion live on the earthly planets, and those in the mode of ignorance go down to the hellish worlds. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Urdhvam gacchanti sattvasthaha, madhye tishtanti rajasaha, jaganya guna vrittisthaha, adho gacchanti tamasaha. Results of action in the three modes of nature. So Lord Krishna is explaining over here that what life we will take in our next birth is linked to the gunas that will predominate our personality. Once we are completing this whole journey in this present life, what will happen? Soul has to reach somewhere, right? It will reach that kind of a place which corresponds to the gunas, right? Example can be given like a student. Student is applying for college admission, okay? So he has completed his school, he has to apply for college admission. Now there are so many colleges, so many universities in the country. Now how will the student go to the best college, Yale's college or Oxford or Cambridge? How? The student with good qualifying criteria at the school level, he will gain admission in the best college. Who will get the best result will go to the best college. Whoever is having poor grades will be admitted in the lower level of colleges. So the lowest mode, which is the mode of ignorance, it is completely downgraded, abominable. So if we develop ignorance, very, very, very risky. Why? Because it's the lowest, right, in the material nature. Beneath the human level, there are 8 million species of life. We can be in the bird criteria, beasts, reptile, trees, whatever, etc. Right? So people who are in the mode of ignorance, they can become any one of these depending on their karmas. So, but there is an opportunity for men in the mode of ignorance and passion to be elevated to the mode of goodness, and that is simple devotion in Krishna consciousness. But if one is not taking that advantage, they are not taking this opportunity, they will continue to be in the lower modes. Nobody can help them at all. Yes, Maitra Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. When you see that there is nothing beyond these modes of nature in all activities, that to all these modes and know my spiritual nature.
Mataji, your voice was breaking, so I'll read one more time. When you see that there is nothing beyond these modes of nature in all activities and that Supreme Lord is transcendental to all these modes, then you can know my spiritual nature. So this is the solution Lord Krishna is giving for breaking out of the bondage. Nanyam gunebhya kartaram yada drashtanupashyati gunebhyashcha param veti madbhavam sodhi gacchati. So he told us, right, how these modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance works. Now he's telling us the simple solution. What is the simple solution of breaking out of this bondage? We have to, right? We have to break. So who is giving us the solution? Lord is giving us the solution, that we are under the grip of all these three gunas. And of course, Lord Krishna, as you can see, above Lord Krishna, then you have three modes of material nature, right? You can see them. The yellow one is in mode of goodness, and the other one is in the mode of passion, and the black one is in the mode of ignorance. And you can see we are all tied up. And above that is Lord Krishna. So he is beyond them. So in case, if at all, we can attach our mind to the divine God, then what will happen? Automatically, we will be able to cross this difficult journey, right? We are getting directly recommendation towards the CEO. Then what can the managers do? Nothing, right? So the moment when we get this knowledge that Lord is above these three modes and we need to attach our mind towards the Lord, then we start loosening slowly our relationship with these worldly objects and loss and gain and people and relatives and all these gossips going around, and then slowly strengthen our relationship with the Lord. And that can happen only through devotion or bhakti. So we will see the modes of nature. How, if in the mode of goodness, what happens? We go to higher planets. In the mode of passion, we go to earthly planets. We remain on earthly planets. And in mode of ignorance, we can be born in lower species. In a mode of goodness, or the action results of action is, because of result of action is pure, we are in mode of goodness, right? And when we are in mode of passion, our actions will be miserable, and result of action is completely foolish in the mode of ignorance. The result you get, the effect you can see when we are in real knowledge, result of action is pure, we go to higher planets. When the effect is greed, we are in miserable condition, we remain on earthly planets. When we are in mode of ignorance, complete madness, we complete foolishness, and we are born in lower species. So you can imagine the takeaway, the learning, the lesson that we get from here is that while we are in this body right now, we are already preparing for our next life, because we are already going through these modes, and whatever mode remains too much in us, that is what we are going to get into. So let's make very, very responsible choices. Yes, please, Raina Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. How to remain in transcendental position? When the embodied being is able to transcend these three modes, he can become free from birth, death, old age, and their distresses, and can enjoy nectar even in this life. Hare Krishna.
Gunani tanati yatrin dehi deha samudbhavan janma mrityu jara dukkaihi vimukto mritam ashnute. So janma mrityu jara dukkha, everything will be gone. How? But how can one stay in this transcendental position, in this body, while remaining in this body, while in this life, in full Krishna consciousness, is what Lord Krishna is telling over here and what he's explaining, right? Right? If I drink something spoiled milk or spoiled juice or something that has gone spoiled, and if I am taking something from a dirty jug also, I will have upset stomach, right? Similarly, if we are influenced by these three modes, what will happen to us? We are completely bound to experience the consequence. If we have dirty thing, we will have a stomach ache. If we'll have good thing, we will get energized. Similarly, whatever it is, we are bound to experience our consequences, which are repeated birth, this janma mrityu jara dukkha, repeated birth, disease, old age, and death. Of course, Satguna is better than Rajoguna and Tamoguna, that is for sure. But that also is not enough, right? It is also a form of bondage that we learned. So the mode of goodness can be, as I told you, it can be equated to a chain of gold. Like it's like in a prison house, it's like a VIP cell. You have got a VIP room in the prison, right? You are getting all kinds of facility, but it's a VIP, but you are still in the prison only. So what is our goal? Our goal is go even beyond it. We need to get out of the prison house. So to get out of the prison house of this material existence, gunas are present in every part of Maya. The moment, kshana, fraction of a second also you move away from God thinking, Maya will catch hold of you, right? When you're traveling in a train and the train is jam-packed Yeah, you didn't do the reservation. You're sitting. They say, "Bhai sahab, jara thoda sa," and they make you sit, and they sit over there. Then thoda sa, they are pushing you in. Another one is sitting and sitting and sitting. All the three people are sitting. Ultimately, you are down, and all three have occupied the space. Similarly, Maya is like that. Thoda sa, little bit. It doesn't matter. Like, for example, cricket match is going on. You want to see India-Pakistan match, and Sunday program is there in the temple. Mind is fighting. This is very, very important. Okay, Sunday programs keep happening. India-Pakistan match will not happen. I will not get to see that. That temple program I will see in YouTube also later on. That is what is Maya. We have to make the discrimination, right? And gunas are present everywhere in every part of Maya. So to reach that enlightenment or samadhi stage, the first step, keep increasing your sattva guna and decrease your rajo and tamo guna. Next, the ultimate goal should be to become unattached from all the three modes. Of course, that's the going beyond Maya, right? And the person who has transcended all the three modes, he is indifferent. He is indifferent to all the dualities of life, like pain, pleasure. They are not disturbed by any kind of gunas. They know gunas are part of Maya. They are not, worried about anything. That will happen if you are in devotional service to Krishna, in Krishna consciousness. That's the sign of liberation, that we have, chalo, material world se thoda dur hue. And when it is time to go, we will understand that death is not the end of suffering. It is just a fast forward journey from this transcend, right? So what do we have to do? We have to board the proper, correct flight, as you can see in the picture. We have to get into that flight which is going towards Krishna, as you can see in the picture, right? You can see the flight, and the flight, we have to board that flight, because that flight is the one that is going back home, back to Godhead. We will take other flights, it will go to different destinations. We need to take the right Krishna flight so that we can go back to Krishna. Hare Krishna. Yes, Arjuna's 3 questions. Aishwarya Mataji.
Arjuna inquired, "O my dear Lord, by what symptoms is one known who is transcendental to those modes? What is his behavior, and how does he transcend the modes of nature?" Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Arjuna heard from Lord Krishna, right? So you have to go beyond these 3 gunas, Arjuna. So now he's asking, okay, you are saying go beyond these 3 gunas. So he says, what are the symptoms of such people who have gone beyond these 3 gunas? How do they, what are the achara? How do they conduct? What kimachara katham chaitan means? How do they behave? What is their conduct? And second thing is asking, what manner do they behave? How do they conduct themselves? What are the symptoms of those who have gone beyond these material? How does he go beyond these 3 gunas? How does he go, Krishna? So let's see how Krishna answers. What is his behavior? What are the symptoms? And how he transcends the mode of nature is what Lord Arjuna is asking Krishna. So let's see. Maitra Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. The blessed Lord said, "He who does not hate illumination, attachment, and delusion when they are present, nor longs for them when they disappear, who is seated like one unconcerned, being situated beyond these material reactions of the modes of nature, who remains firm, knowing that the modes alone are active, who regardless alike pleasure and pain, and looks on a Claude. And looks on a
Claude,
a stone and a piece of gold with an equal eye, who is wise and holds praise and blame to be the same, who is unchanged in honor and dishonor, who treats friend and foe alike, who has abandoned all fruitive undertakings. Such a man is said to have transcended the modes of nature." Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Claude is like, lump of earth, mud, lump of earth or clay, like that.
Okay.
So Arjuna submitted three questions, right, in the previous one. So Lord Krishna is answering 2 questions out of the 3 ones over in this verse, from verse number 22 to 25. What are the symptoms of those who have transcended the 3 gunas, who have gone beyond these 3 gunas? What are the symptoms? He says they are equiposed. Kuch bhi ho jaye, they are shant rehte hain. They are not bothered about, what is happening. They are not hankering after happiness or distress of the body, right? So hankering about the things that you don't have. Hai nahi tumhare paas. Why are you hankering about it? Why are you being anxious? If you become anxious for something that you don't have, it is going to spoil your future. It is plundering the happiness of the present. Right now also you are not feeling happy for the future that was never yours. So why are you even worried? So the Muni, the saint, the devotee is like that. Question 2, what manner does he conduct himself? So he says he's steady. He, whatever circumstances, acha ho raha hai, bura ho raha hai, somebody is blaming him, somebody is not blaming him, dishonor, honor, respect, he is equal to everyone and everything. So Krishna consciousness gives him that wisdom. It gives him that equal vision. Vidya vinay sampanne brahmane ega vyastini shunicha vashvapakecha pandita samadarshina sama. He starts looking at Paramatma in everyone, whether it is favorable, unfavorable situation, somebody is criticizing him, glorifying him, he is samabhava. They are not acting whimsically. So they are surrendered to Krishna, right? So they will be acting in a very determined way. And they are doing a spiritual practice, whatever maybe both parties ho rahe hain, loud blaring music is going on, they are calm and they are doing their spiritual practice, right? So these enlightened souls, they are also working for human welfare also. It's not that they're thinking about themselves. They do like all the gurus now you can see, they're trying to do human welfare. They do so because it's their nature to help others, like Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, at the same time, he went through so much of hardships, right? But he knew, and they know that everything is in God's hand. They leave it, they surrender. That's why they just simply do their best and they do their duty and they do to the best of their ability and leave everything rest to the God. So such self-realized people like Srila Prabhupada, they understand the dualities of the world. They know there will be happiness, there will be sorrow, there will be advantages, disadvantages. Somebody will criticize them, somebody will praise them, but they remain unaffected by it. So let's see the next one. Yes, Rena Mataji, third answer.
Hare Krishna. Actually, I must say that all of these questions are going in my mind also, and we are getting the answers also. Like,
Hare
as
Krishna.
we are going through. So yeah, I'll read it now. I don't want.
Yes,
I'll
yes,
keep questions for the end.
yes,
Thank you.
yes.
One who engages in full devotional service, who does not fall down in any circumstance, at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman.
Brahman.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, Brahman.
Hare Krishna. So this verse is the reply to Arjuna's third question. How does he transcend the mode of nature, right? So what is the means of attaining to transcendental position? How can we go beyond it? Answer is very simple over here. Engage in devotional service means bhakti, devotion, bhakti yoga, where Lord is there, devotee is there, an exchange of love is there. That's it. Nobody is coming in between the devotee and the Lord. So, but if we are not situated in that same transcendental position with the Lord, then we cannot serve the Lord. We need to get into that mode. For example, if you want to be Prime Minister's secretary or right hand, so you cannot just become like that. You can't simply go, okay, excuse me, and I want to meet Prime Minister and I want to become his secretary. You can't get that position right away. You have to acquire the qualifications first. So what is that qualification? You have to be, when it comes to Prime Minister, of course, you need to have some skill sets that they will need, right? You can't just go and simply become anybody's secretary. To become God's servant, we need the qualification. What is the qualification? We need to be free from all kinds of material contamination that we have. Cheto darpana marjanam. Then we will be in that spiritual position. We'll be as good as gold. And then as good as Krishna in quality. Right? We can never become Krishna, but we can be in quality because we are part and parcel of Krishna. Krishna, if he is fire, we are the sparks. So, of course, we can reach that Brahman level, Brahman platform. The moment we are in that level, we reach the Brahman platform. So what is the message over there? That if we engage ourselves in the service of Krishna, then even though the modes of material nature will be, it is there, it is going to be very difficult to overcome. Nobody is saying it's very easy. It's not easy. There will be problems in your life. If Krishna conscious you are there doesn't mean that you will be out of the problems. No, you have to face the problem, but you will be able to overcome very, very easily with Krishna's help. That is the outcome. One who does devotional service and does not fall down in any circumstances reaches
The level of Brahman.
Yeah, very nice, very good. Okay, let's move to the next one. Yes, Aishwarya Mataji.
I am the basis of the impersonal Brahman, which is the constitutional position of ultimate happiness and which is immortal, imperishable, and external. Hare Krishna.
Eternal. So
Eternal.
the Brahman position is the beginning of transcendental, like we have discussed before also. Brahman is which Jnanis worship, the light, the personal effulgence of the Lord, right? It's the beginning of transcendental realization. Then we have Paramatma, the super soul, is inside us, everybody's heart. That's the second stage of transcendental realization. And Supreme Personality of Godhead is the ultimate realization of the absolute truth. So the attainment of, once we attain that Brahman conception of life, we have to understand that, okay, we are on that first stage. We can continue to stay in that Brahman position, then slowly move on to Paramatma realization, then slowly move on to Supreme Personality of Godhead realization. The four Kumaras were there. They were also situated first initially in impersonal Brahman stage. When then slowly, they also started going towards that. They got attracted towards the devotional service platform. And then they also reached the Bhagwan realization, absolute truth realization. So the process of devotional service, we need to begin with the 9 Navavidha Bhakti, that Shravanam Kirtanam. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, Smaranam Pada Sevanam, Archanam Vandanam Dasyam, Sakhyam Atma Nivedanam. We need to understand that these methods are processes are for, we need to practice that so that we can reach God. But this can be done in the association of devotees, right? So devotional service to the Lord is very simple. What to do? We just engage in the service of Lord. We eat, we offer bhoga to him, eat the prasadam that we have offered to deities, and then we smell the flowers offered to the deity. We see the places, dham, where Lord has spent his transcendental pastimes, read different activities of the Lord, observe all the fasting days. Tomorrow is Ekadashi, then chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra all the time. And following such process, we become completely detached from these material activities. So the takeaway here is these 3 modes of material nature, they are trying to tie us. If we are with Krishna, Krishna will untie it completely. The modes will always be captivating. They will keep calling us, Aja, Aja, mere paas Aja. Maya will call us. But when we are with Krishna, Krishna will liberate us, right? Haribol. Let's see chapter 14 now. What did we understand? 3 modes, the definition, what are the 3 modes and where are we? Then we understood recognizing the mode supremacy. Then in goodness, passion and ignorance. In goodness, we have a lot of clarity. In passion, we are always anxious. In ignorance, complete delusion or confusion, and we are totally opposite of goodness. Then acting and dying within the modes. When we are in goodness, passion, and ignorance. In goodness, we go to heavenly planets. Passion, we remain on earthly planets. Ignorance, we go to hellish planets. Then we have transcendent the modes. Symptoms who has transcendent. He is equipoised, he is neutral, he is not identifying himself with happiness or distress, he is not affected at all, right? Then what is his behavior? He is very steady. He deals with everything and everyone equally. He is surrendered to Krishna. He is doing his spiritual sadhana and he is, completely out of that. So he's striving for, of course, he helps do seva also, human welfare. How to transcend? Very good, right? Good question. Attach our mind to God and detach our mind from worldly pursuits. And it can only be done through bhakti. We need to surrender. We need to detach ourselves from Maya and attach ourselves to Ishvara or Krishna. Pancha kalpata rupeshcha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Tomorrow we'll be do chapter 15, Purushottama Yoga. It is yoga of Supreme Divine Personality, where Krishna is going to compare this whole material world very graphically with upside down tree. He is going to explain very graphically to Arjuna. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for coming.